Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to D Smith Let's Discuss. Welcome to today's session. Man, I have a video for you guys from Moxie Approved, one of the best creators on YouTube to me. His cap stories about Soulja Boy, about Snoop Dogg, about the game are legendary. Now he finally has one about this fake guy right here. Yes. The wannabe gangster. The wannabe, just a wannabe, just the fakest guy ever. A lot of people think people hate oh boy. No, people just do not like you because you are fake. You jump on trends. And you not real. So let's react to this video from Moxie Approved. Let's go, man. Welcome to the session, man.
Hip hop has had its fair share of artists able to bless the booth as well as the big screen. Not just running the Billboard charts, but pulling in fans normally outside of hip hop's reach. But what happens when one decides to play a character off screen, so determined they're paying to play?
I'm not saying, and I got crack in my pocket, because that wasn't my struggle necessarily.
All to become the streaming king with a crown made up of reference tracks.
Okay, 10 bands, 50 bands.
Operate.
So Drake does not write any of his music. It is what it is. Moxie about to show all that. Drake does not write any of his music. It is what it is. The fake rapper.
Like an artist ran through development code rather than human interaction.
Late night, that's why the beats that you hear coming real tight. He turned up in the studio late night, that's why the songs that you hear coming real tight.
This is the story of a man who built his empire like a tech startup company.
People also say that I got a BBL, right? They call me BBL Drizzy.
With the same social awkwardness.
I got a little frustrated at the end of the video because, Nicki wouldn't kiss me on camera.
And music that copied emotion rather than produce it.
There's a lot of people that link up with other people and make records that you guys love.
Making trend farming the most profitable tactic in hip hop.
Just to let the world know, I never got paid no 12 grand. For the record, I'm not signed to OVO.
I'm here, as you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering.
Eventually losing all respect.
Drake just took probably the most embarrassing L I've ever witnessed on the internet.
From underestimating the culture he once manipulated so well.
I'm about to crack the Da Vinci Code.
And you're telling me that Kendrick dropped again?
George is ready to work, is it right?
There'll be a day when Drake is no longer interesting.
Drake!
This is Drake, the Cap of Canada. The boy from Toronto had a tough job ahead, but his background will be favorable. Coming from a single-parent home of a Jewish woman with an absent father who was a mentionable musician, he would utilize that with a list of other tactics to make himself one of the best to ever do it.
Jump bars ain't throwing takes. Those who break, they break. When you hit their form with your bandwidth, you're gonna lose the world.
But if he was going to do that, certain things must be in place. His background wasn't the ideal story you'd hear for a mainstream hip-hop artist, appearing more similar to Mark Zuckerberg rather than Sean Carter. He would leave a perfectly good job playing a disabled character on a TV show called Degrassi, which for him, it was hardly satisfying having bigger dreams in mind of becoming the greatest rapper ever. He would begin his takeover constructing mixtapes, which would land in the hands of Lil Weezy. Drake would secure himself a position with one of the most lit enterprises at the time, Young Money, with Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, along with a list of others.
I got a little frustrated at the end of the video because, Nicki wouldn't kiss me on camera.
He would eventually establish his space on the Billboard chart, taking advantage of a space one of Kanye West's personalities created, taking his emo rap to the top of the charts.
Niggas got Drake twisted. A lot of niggas be playing pity-patting with Drake. I don't like that. Period. Drake is one of us, so if you f***ing with Drake, you f***ing with us.
Drake successfully built his own ecosystem depicting different genres of music from different regions with matching ghostwriters and accents. After joining the team, he was able to create his own, creating a team for protection and identity, creating his own empire. OVO Sounds, inviting such characters as Chubbs, 40, Baka Not Nice to join him on this journey, and a shooter, top 5, that probably deserves his own cap story.
No way, coming.
With regards to the ankle bracelet, Mr. Ali was well within his right to not be wearing that ankle bracelet. He wasn't on any conditions to wear it. So him having cut that off on social media was sort of part of, I guess, his information that he wanted to put out, part of his persona perhaps.
Before we go too far in this video, please do me one small favor and apply pressure to that subscribe button. Wow.
Yeah, go subscribe to Moxie, man. Check out his
Drake was
content.
getting his brand together. There was one major hurdle he had to get past to be the best ever.
Exactly.
Can I do that?
You want to do that?
Can I do that?
Hold up. Turn this mic.
First, learning how to freestyle without a phone.
Young, I got you. Look, I say young money to the young boy dying out.
Also, there hasn't been one long-lasting career of any mainstream rap artist that didn't have the black urban community's validation. While this would be a tough feat to conquer, there was one option. Dennis Graham. Yes, the mostly absent father of Drake was an accomplished artist of his own. Ideally, Drake's mom probably doesn't have the best things to say about the guy, though reconciliation wouldn't be ideal for such a situation. This situation could be classified as unique. If you can be a father to me, it will validate my spot at the table while you can feast on as many groupies as you want. Deal. Besides, it is called cap on the whole absent father story anyway. Early on, he definitely had an odd way of describing his relationship with the culture he didn't really feel a part of.
Saw my dad get arrested by like a SWAT team at the border, you know, for trying to cross over. I've seen things that didn't make me happy. They were character building. That's why I think people in the hood can still connect with what I'm saying, even though I'm not saying, yeah, and I got crack in my pocket, because that wasn't my struggle necessarily.
To add to it, Aubrey will begin to implement one of the most devious methods yet, trend farming, which is identifying where the next big trend may be and attempting to make it your own, mostly done through features. Almost none will be approved without some kind of cultural trade-off. Lit regional artists from down south would certainly make do. But newer artists as well, as long as they had a style or a song to give up.
Facts.
This will be the case for Atlanta's own McCone. When Drake jumped on Tuesday, the world thought he was blessing I Love McCone. But really, he was buying the wave before it got too strong. McCone's weird melodic style had Atlanta's underground in a chokehold, and the remix turned him into an overnight celebrity. But once the hype cooled, McCone realized he wasn't signed to a label, he was signed to a system.
So that's something they go off all day
So
there.
that's the Drake effect.
That's the Drake effect.
The same people who crowned him started ghosting him, shelving his music, and treating him like the intern who got too comfortable in the office. Next thing you know, he's somewhere out there flipping burgers.
You know what I'm saying? If you need me to come guest chef at your motherfucking spot, holla at me. Let me know what city.
Falling victim to a popular scheme in tech called kill acquisition, buying the threat before it grows teeth. It's the same play Facebook ran when they brought Instagram, not to collaborate, but to control. Even though Instagram kept its name, the deal neutralized any threat to Facebook's dominance in mobile social media. The same strategy repeated with WhatsApp in 2014 for $19 billion. But a warning before this presented itself, when a young Kane discovered his long-lost April. Weeknd was a mysterious kid with a haunting drug-laced sound. And when Drake's team posted his music on the OVO blog, the cosign felt like a coronation. Together they crafted True Love and The Ride, giving Take Care its dark heartbeat. But when it came time to sign...
So I'm gonna stand on it. Drake never wrote any of his biggest hits. Never ever wrote any of his biggest hits. What a lie at.
Weeknd chose to build his own house, XO, instead of moving into Drake's. That's when the love turned into quiet competition, Years later, Abel admitted he gave up half his album for Take Care.
Hey, now, essentially, when he spoke about Drake 2 years ago, he said I gave Drake half of my album. So half of my album went to Drake, and Drake used that for his album. So essentially, I don't know if you want to call it ghostwriting, collaborating, but pretty much The Weeknd was a big part of Take Care.
A subtle reminder that Drake didn't just borrow his sound, he branded it. Aubrey would use this high level of cap to once again land on the Billboard chart, expanding his fan base by changing sounds. Where most rappers stay loyal to a sound, Drake treated sounds like apps. He downloaded them all. Houston chopped and screwed, UK drill, even Spanish reggaeton. Each time a region bubbled, Drake deployed a version of himself there, bypassing authenticity.
That's cool. Instead of you asking me like the group, and saying like, what do you guys think? Say man's like you. Yeah, so man's like you know that.
He wasn't rapping, he was programming feelings, gaining momentum that would eventually land him #1 on the charts again, awarding him the highest currency on the social media market, clout. It was from here Drake's career wouldn't evolve like a human, but rather update like software. Though out the boot, his personal side was much different. Everything revolved around one thing: validation.
Is Drake hip hop?
Drake is pop to me. In the sense, like, if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with.
Where the lie at, man?
Shopping.
I fucked up, I'ma be downtown, man. Full flow down, man. That's if I get caught, man. Keep your ass up, I'ma be downtown, man. Full flow down, man. That's if I get caught, man.
Though his career was handled like a programmer, his personal...
Come on, you stole Project Pat Flow. The lyrics exactly.
life would be just as socially awkward.
You know, I'm so sick of people saying that that I'm like lonely and emotional and like associating me with this like longing for a woman or something.
Predictable selections of women previously belonging to a peer of his, who is somehow always eventually becoming an enemy. And a history of the emotional side of Drake not being able to move on. Take an example. One of the weirdest moments was trying to force a kiss on Rihanna in front of the world well after a breakup.
Just sad, man, sad.
Followed by multiple sub disses.
And she looking at this nigga like...
Aubrey has an ongoing back and forth exchange with her two-time baby daddy, A$AP Rocky. This is after having a club fight with her ex, Chris Brown. This would go on throughout Drake's career, even dissing his ex, Serena Williams' husband once. Whatever case you want to call it, stream-wise, he was king, releasing a plethora of #1 Billboard hits as well as albums. Drake's music production, right with ghostwriters and trend farming, would seem unstoppable. He would even take lyrics thinking people couldn't Google.
We get freaky in the studio late night. That's why the beats that you hear coming real tight. We turned up in the studio late night. That's why the songs that you hear coming real tight.
The model was simple. A Drake feature would grant you international exposure beyond hip-hop in exchange for cultural validation. Unfortunately, there was one artist not willing to turn an eye when he felt the unspoken rules weren't being fulfilled. Meek Mill would have a meltdown from Perks and tweet out a dissatisfaction with Drake not tweeting his album. He wouldn't wait too long.
He said from Perks.
Aubrey had a secret. The battle was on. Drake's software update would quickly produce 2 diss tracks. One using a formula, mixing the club track with the diss, being the certified classic called Back to Back. Meek would pull a rabbit out of his hat, but it was almost like no one was watching. Describing tales of Aubrey getting urinated on during movie previews.
How bad did Meek fumble in 2015? Because he had the ghostwriter and peeing allegations against Drake, and somehow still lost.
And employing a staff of ghostwriters. There would be one writer in particular that would take the biggest L of this battle, when Quentin Miller, a ghostwriter who helped Drake shape If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, would deny being a ghostwriter rather than just a collaborator. But it didn't matter. The streets and the internet had already judged him off all of these reference tracks. And the fallout was brutal. He got jumped in the Nike store by these folks.
They caught me, we was in LA, I was walking to the Nike store, and he approached me, and this is really my first time really talking with me, and basically he told me like, he didn't appreciate the letter that I dropped, and it seemed like he was a liar or whatnot, and they stole off on me in the Nike store and ran. I shed blood in the Nike store on Wilshire.
Y'all ruined his life beefing with each other, and y'all are cool with each other. Like, when I see like Quick Miller, I see myself and see how is treated. Other than they supposedly fear, but when they don't fear you, they treat you like shit. If Drake had feared Quentin, he would have squashed the beef with Quentin. He never talked to that nigga yet.
Lost his footing in the industry and became another kill acquisition for the Cat of Canada. Drake would spend time touting his crown over Meek, even performing the track in Meek's own backyard, making his first battle a piece of cake.
Yeah, triple figures, triple figures. Yeah, you get black in my city, nigga. I'm not the type of nigga that type of niggas. Shout out my boss,
Meek's half effort would not only give him one of rap's biggest L's, but he'd get banned from Toronto too. But soon, Champagne Cappy would find out he who wears the crown never gets a break, and his next rival wouldn't be as merciful as Meek. This is where Aubrey's career legacy would take a drastic turn. Having scripts handed to him for entire songs, was Aubrey making music or writing prompts?
Just to let the world know, I never got paid no 12 grand. For the record, I'm not signed to OVO, and all my real fans have been rocking with me from day one. Check the history.
Suddenly, folks came out the woodwork saying Drake owes them for writing. Like Mo G, creator of the Ginobili dance, would claim Drake left him with nothing.
But I just heard somebody in the spot playing Drake's song. I heard niggas say, all pop money's my money's pop. What money's he talking about, bro? Where these money's at?
Another day, another ghostwriter beat up. And what was his way of getting past the ghostwriter's claim? Oh, let's just threaten the snitch.
And if I need to be the poster child that took all those hits for all my peers hiding behind me that do the same thing every album, that's fine, I'll do it. You know, because there's a lot of people that link up with other people and make records that you guys love, you know?
But every artist wasn't up for the thievery.
Why you wouldn't be what happened? I'm like, what? Did he just slap Drake? I heard it was on the 0 to 100. Exactly. That's what I heard.
Meanwhile, a label war was brewing between Cash Money Camp and Star Trek Entertainment. Though suffering an L, what he managed to do is remove a layer from the algorithmic formula Drake became. And Pusha T saw a chance to deal a fatal blow, finally moving from subliminals to the full-on diss track towards Drake.
The bigger question is how the Russian did it. It was written like Nas when it came from point.
The Canadian Cap's formulaic response will be an overdrive.
Don't push me on the album. You're not even top 5 squads a long time ago. You sent shots when I got a challenge though.
An ecosystem that was pushing out material year after year would treat this as a walkthrough. Besides, the world saw what he did with Meek. The most acute coding would not be able to stop what was to come next. Information will be leaked out that Drake will be the first rapper to have a cat kid, a baby hidden from the algorithm just to be uncovered.
You are hiding a child, let that boy come home.
A child, Adonis, shown through DNA testing to be the child of Drake's, shared with a woman who had relations with A$AP Rocky, as well as other artists. The validation seeking would backfire. Not only that, Pusha T would also pull out multiple vulnerabilities in the code structure, showing Drake pre-fame that wasn't the biggest fan of black people. The system was damaged, where the people began to see that maybe the artist wasn't exactly what was promoted. But the cat code would survive from flooding the market and, of course, trend farming. Any artist, no matter how big, could become a victim, such as Beyonce, who called on Drake to help her with the dance album she was working on. Aubrey would be honored and would show it by rushing his team together to put out his own album at a pace even R&B royalty couldn't contest. One software patch to Drake's would sound strikingly like a new up-and-comer from Florida.
Drake, I like my pudding tapioca.
Gaining momentum just to see the Cap of Canada using it to perfection.
This nigga Drake, you gotta listen to the...
Demons just gotta... it's just not in my plan. Not even taking a check.
I hear da-da-da-da in my done. I'm like, what the f?
I bet you was your best. Hey, taking my dick in my pants.
The evidence was almost undeniable, but a part of a litmus of others with the same complaints. Maybe the most memorable would be from the greatest of all cat. What was legendary will be in the midst of lies, the greatest of all cat would have an admission that would turn out to be true.
You beat with Drake, the biggest rapper in the world.
Drake.
Come on, you talk Drake, I didn't know.
Y'all didn't hear Drake on his first song? Tell me what's really going on. Drizzy Drake back in this thing already. What's that? That's Soulja.
I'm getting so cold. I ain't with this hoe since I was 18. I look so good. I ain't look as good since I was 18. Speak to the phone.
Come on, man. Come on. What were we talking about? What are we doing? Drake is so fake.
Bar. Apologize if I say anything I don't mean. Excuse me if I say a couple things that I don't mean.
Reference.
Damn.
Hidden Baby. And a loss in respect wasn't the only problem a Canadian cat would have to encounter.
Who's better, Lil Wayne or Drake?
My dad, most.
There was a trend beginning to rule, not only the attention of the culture, but it began to get sales as well. The drill culture, hailing from Chicago, will become highly popular, but it was an all-center subgenre by far that would be less attentive of lyrics and more focused on the actual stories of murder behind it.
Members of Chicago's O Block have been convicted in the 2020 murder of a rapper known as FBG Duck.
Trend, quite difficult to break, but six guys would impressively figure it out. Extacion, unfortunately, would give up the ghost, being an uncooperating victim of a carjack.
20-year-old rapper XXXTentacion's real name is Jose Onfroy, was shot and killed in Broward County today. Authorities say that Onfroy was leaving a motorsports store shortly before 4 o'clock when two men in a dark-colored SUV shot and killed him in what's an apparent robbery.
With rumors of Drake's involvement, but with little, if any evidence to support, it would be the perfect opportunity for Aubrey to depict lyrics of involvement, closing the gap between him and drill rappers.
Yeah, maybe I should break it 10, do it 5, then if niggas do it 5 again. If he held his tongue and alive again.
Randomly scrolling Twitter, everybody talking about Drake shit, that Drake was on the live stream and leaking songs, previewing songs from the album or whatever. And this what I heard.
The evidence shows. That's a fake ass nigga.
Sure. I got a song titled that exact same that I made in 2019, like somewhere around. But y'all tell me, like, am I tripping?
Just want that head, fuck you looking to attach. I'm a veteran, if I sign, I need the Supermax. Supermax. I need the Supermax. Had to get back on my shit, cause I relax. Gonna turn my back, even if it didn't know what they do for scratch. I'm a veteran, if I sign, I need the Supermax.
Drake's trend farming will become even more adaptive. Noted that in past rap beefs, one of the biggest accolades will be to get a hold of the Ops jewelry, which is comparable to a king losing his crown. Ask the captain of Cat, Jim Jones.
You're not balling. It look better on camera. I'm seeing this right there. Look better on camera. This got me.
To attempt to heal his wounds from brutal Pusha T defeat, he would proceed to go after Pusha's producer, Pharrell Williams' chain. But he wouldn't do it with a form of robbery hit. He would do it through an auction, once even declaring that he melted the jewelry.
I'm not gonna change that I'm fucking about all of that heritage shit.
Trend farming, of course, wouldn't just stick to music, but fashion as well. Equipped, painted nails, pigtails. At one point, even his abs became robotic.
Look how he changed his walk. Do y'all see this?
As well as the walk.
According to the walk. All right. And action. Real Nick Walk. Real
People think you bought procedure done.
Really?
You know procedure? Yeah, one. Yeah, did you do that?
No.
Is that a thing?
I'm sure it is.
Why do you know that?
Because
Aubrey survived 2 attempts on his career. Both would fail to remove him from the top, but would show security vulnerabilities. One hacker who would wait for years for his chance to crack the code would finally get it.
Where is Drake at with Control?
It was cool for what it was, you know. I'm just into making like my thing is like I like blasting power, you know. That's my thing. I want you to still be listening to this album in the summer or you know next year.
Well, Drake, they're making college courses about Kendrick Lamar music. Good Kid, Mad City. So that's gonna last on forever.
Pick up on the vibes and make one attempt at peace. But Kendrick knew Drake was high on clout, but low on authenticity. He threw his first shot on a track called Light, part of an album meant for Drake's destruction. For Drake, all current clients would disperse.
And I pray that God will line me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my really didn't feel no way, and if he did, I got my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that on the chin, boy, do what you do. You know what I mean? Like,
he would then upload his infamous 20v1 pack, not just focusing on Kendrick, but all the others who participated in the data breach. He would base his moves and reactions on past data, hinged on the fact his opponent had a history of releasing music on a more slower developing human pace. That, along with a collection of past internet rumors connected to Kendrick's name, formulating a club track out of the whole thing.
Always knew I had to smoke y'all niggas. Nah, that's my goal. That's my goal. That's what y'all know. That's my goal.
But this is after becoming the first mainstream artist to actually become AI himself, with a track called Tailor Made Freestyle. He would have Tupac and Snoop Dogg AI prototypes to recreate the present and the past. Even with known fence sitter Snoop Dogg providing authenticity.
They did what? When? How? Are you sure?
Luckily, the Secure family would call cap on that. What the 20v1 patch would bank on is the hacker had malware.
No fucking way. No fucking way.
A literal mole previously implanted in the Canadian Cap's operating system. Throughout the battle, the entire internet would rush to discover the identity, one which hasn't been revealed even to this day.
I think Drake knew that these things were stolen.
Kendrick would use this information to not only counter each OVO code execution, but he would do it in epic time, with The Final Dagger being 2 classic diss tracks released in less than a 24-hour period.
And he dropped a little preview snippet on Instagram. And you're telling me that Kendrick dropped again? Are y'all trolling me? Kendrick did not drop, bro. He dropped again? Not again, bro. After Meet the Grams? What is going on?
This is getting crazy, bro. This man be popping up at all time of hour.
The OVO code was finally cracked. Kendrick would use this moment to expose OVO's entire algorithm to the world, from the trend farming, killer acquisitions, even down to these onstage kisses.
Evidence!
Trying to strike a chord because it's probably A minor.
He held it. It's too. That's crazy.
Him dragging out A minor in the same way that Drake just dragged out that one dude's name.
Can Drake say it? Read.
This would also expose the network era. Baka.
Where I come from, like, that shit happened. Like, you can't just call a man and not have paperwork to back.
The tracks would take over Spotify accounts all over the world, including Canada. The Trojan name that would disarm the system would be called Not Like Us.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Becoming the constant thorn in the pop star's side. Not only his, but everyone a part of the system. No one was safe, not even Drake.
This is the rapper Drake right there. This is his house in Toronto.
I ain't know that. They called him too.
Happened earlier outside Drake's Toronto home.
Whose residence was shot up, leaving one wounded.
Confirmed the injured person is a member of Drake's security team. Now, police have yet to say if they believe the shooting is related to the Kendrick Lamar feud.
Remnants of a real beef allegedly tied to his industry-turned-straight beef with Weeknd's camp. It would be time for Drake to show his newly acquired drill rapper side, but instead, he would choose to move to Houston, where his accent began to switch.
Gone country. Yeah, we done gone country on y'all, boy. We said we was gonna do it for a lot of years, and we doing it today. The sale is made.
They say it's 3 hours in Texas.
Then Houston suddenly had noticeable differences in their radio play.
Drake bans Kendrick Lamar is not like us. Either directly or indirectly. Yeah, they're saying that there's been some DJs in Houston, Texas that were asked not to play the record.
Yeah, somebody trouble for it already.
Drake's new patch would shift the #1 stream artist propaganda into his biggest cat era.
I believe there's an actual case out on us. It happened in Vegas where he assaulted a female.
That they swept under the rug too.
Employing multiple cat lieutenants who would attempt to control the
Facts,
narrative,
yeah.
but it would have no effect.
False maneuvers.
Excuse me on my stream.
It's definitely a tie-in. It's definitely a tie-in.
What y'all LA thought this was meant? I keep telling y'all, with all due respect, Kendrick, y'all call him the boogeyman, but he's not Santa Claus, alright? He can't give you stimulus packages. Nobody cares about y'all if y'all collaborate with Kendrick.
He don't give a fuck about the culture anymore because he sees what the culture tried to do to him.
Their biggest argument was to pivot to a laughable theory that the main reason Not Like Us is successful is because of bots.
Out of respect, but the most recent song I did do all the bots for, well, most of it and the marketing was Not Like Us.
He would replace cultural acceptance with bot activity, declaring that this uproar could not possibly be from relations, but rather bots and algorithm manipulation, opening up a can of worms that will lead the world down a rabbit hole. One gloomy evening, an announcement was made that Kendrick Lamar will be headlining the Super Bowl. Drake had a serious problem. It's one thing to have a #1 Billboard hit, an album released to your demise, but it's a whole nother level to have a diss song performed at the Super Bowl. Why Jayceon would never.
If they were to say to the game, we want you to have a mean 56-second record, you would chose.
Probably 300 bars.
I can't do shit.
Cash Money was on it. First to bat will be Weezy himself, who will do nothing less than cry at the situation.
That hurt. Hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown.
Meanwhile, Nicki would add one of her more frequent cult rants. While both did little to change the situation, the cat from the Six had something in mind that would not only shed more light to the battle, but also try to change hip-hop forever. First, he will release a collab album with Party Next Door that would do numbers, but certainly not the usual. But the formula's main deficiency is authenticity, and Drake's next move will possibly be the worst cultural reaction you can have after losing a battle. He will begin to lash out at anyone seen connected to the song.
If you ever put a DeRozan banner up, I'll go there and pull it down myself. That's the answer to your question.
We're gonna take the break. You're gonna stay with us.
I also think the era we live in, the president, right, who's in office, is like political season, man. And a lot of people want to listen to this bullshit. That's my opinion. While he walking away.
Yo, LeBron, you and Drake used to go in two mans, okay?
Then Drake started appearing on Just White Streamer's platform.
I'm Drake. This is XQC, real streaming legend.
Talking like he survived a shootout rather than a battle. But wait, well, actually, he was.
I'm here, as you can see, fully intact. Mind, body, and soul, in case you were wondering, right?
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. You need facts to take me out. Fairy tales won't work.
But whatever the case, after Not Like Us took over the summer of 2024, Drake filed a defamation suit against his own label, Universal Music Group, accusing them of boosting a record that painted him as a certified PDF.
The rap war between Drake and Universal Music Group is escalating tonight in a new amended legal complaint.
He claimed UMG not only let the track fly, but supercharged it, lifting copyright restrictions, pumping bots, and greenlighting promotion that sent the song and his reputation into the dirt.
The filing says UMG made significant financial investments and leveraged its professional connections for, quote, massive amplification of the defamatory claim by Kendrick Lamar.
The lawsuit even tied the track's cover, an aerial shot of Drake's Toronto mansion marked like a predator map. A day never forgotten in hip-hop, the culture wouldn't be divided on how demeaning such a move could be just after losing the battle.
This is bitch made right here. Drake's attorneys accuse UMG of violating the Racketeering Influence in Corrupt Organizations Act.
I don't think it's the same the way people look at Drake. Like, I think
People
or the industry? Both.
Something many greats have experienced before. Not surprisingly, Drake's cat lieutenants would not cower, but turn up even more.
Drake is suing, because Universal has been trying to extort him for the last decade. Because whenever he wants to leave, they back somebody to come out, attack him, make a diss track about him, slander him.
I like Kendrick's music. I like Drake's music. I also think both of them have used bots.
These bitch ass niggas, boy.
We're not.
The lawsuit would do little to stop the traction in the song, as well as Kendrick had made.
The Grammy goes to Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
Now they trying to stop Kendrick from 2026, the winning the Grammys. Now they trying to stop 2026.
On to win 5 Grammys. But the biggest question became if he would have the nerve to perform the song on the biggest stage in the world, the Super Bowl. Which he did, bringing some friends along with him. He would eventually make his way to Drake's own Toronto, where he would perform the song multiple times upon the crowd's request. Only thing Drake and his cronies can do is cap about a check-in.
So, Eros, you think Kendrick, how could that happen if Kendrick Lamar goes to New York without 20 police officers? Lock off every door in the Noble Hotel. Not even cut everything off. Mop about everything. He's a bitch.
And for months, Aubrey had to watch what seemed like the world celebrating. Meanwhile, Drake's next update would be more trend farming. Desperate for a reset, Drake rolled out Iceman, a project dropped in episodes, marketed like a streaming series. When streaming, you can't control all of the outcomes.
So what then? So what then, big dog? Don't look away now.
Someone in his own city made him angry enough to go Caribbean on him.
Don't look away now. Don't look away now. Don't get shot now. We'll fold that up right now.
The rollout glitched. The Pinocchio theme fell forth, and even his most loyal fans started questioning the direction.
I really hope most of the tracks that we just heard aren't on Iceman.
Yo, I can't take it. That was ass.
In damage control mode, Drake leaned on emotional cap, crying on stage, declaring UK rappers more lyrical than Americans.
I love London rappers. The best lyricists in the world are my words. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody can out-rap London. Nobody. No disrespect to America.
By October 2025, the final update arrived. A federal judge dismissed his defamation case.
A New York judge has tossed out Drake's defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group, stemming from Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us.
Kendrick's malware had won. Drake's credibility file deleted.
Get your ass out of here.
Drake's team will release a statement, but what else could be said? There will be no way for even his biggest stands not to testify how big of a stain this will put on the 6 Guys' career.
Drake just took probably the most embarrassing L I've ever witnessed on the internet.
Some people are haters and the K-bots, they're as dumb as could be. I've never liked this lawsuit from the get-go. I always told y'all, some of the Drake fans even said it's because, I'm protecting UMG. I always just thought the lawsuit wasn't cool.
Kendrick's malware was exceptional due to the fact it's forcing your boy to have to do something he hasn't coded before, a new trend. Most of the snippets he has released has sounded like the same old Drake, the same old ChatGPT flow.
Wow, this shit keeps working. George, is the radio working good? Right.
There'll be a day when I fall. Everybody falls. There'll be a day when Drake is no longer interesting. Maybe the stage I'm at in my life, nobody can.
That shit been happening. Oh boy.
Relate to, or maybe the sound of music changes and I'm irrelevant.
Speaking on AI, recently the industry has been tampering with the created bona fide AI artists, with the first being released alongside producer Timberland. It looks like that's where everything's going with websites. You can type in lyrics, moves, genres, and have instrumentals or entire songs created. Eventually, the king of rap will be AI. But it would not happen without using Aubrey Graham as a template on what to do and what not to do when running the industry through an algorithm, making him hip-hop's first coded rapper, the Cap of Canada, Drake.
Man, shout out to Moxie Prue, great video. What do you guys think, man? Drop a comment, like, comment, subscribe, hype. Man, I'm out of here, man.